Welcome, everyone, to the Calling All Platforms Tech Podcast. I am Landon, and I will be your host for today. I am here with Wes.
Well, hey, hello.
And Caleb.
Howdy.
I think I caught Wes a little off guard there.
No, you didn't. I was wanting to do something funny, but
didn't work.
That was as funny as I was going to get. Do a random voice. You know what? I might just do it. You want me to do the voice?
Always.
The Mickey voice.
Oh, no.
I love that.
I immediately regret my decision.
No, what did you say? Why? Landon, what have you done?
Why not, Landon? You have something against Mickey?
I have something against you,
Yes.
Mickey.
Okay, fine.
I kind of have something against Mickey. Is that okay? We fine with that?
Do we need to talk about your feelings?
No. Me and my therapist are already having words. It's fine.
You can pay me that money if you want.
Gladly.
You can just pay me the money and I'll sit and listen to you. I've got a Switch, so I'll just... Oh, yeah, tell me more.
I'm entertained. This is fine.
It's totally cool.
Anyways, we're here to try and discuss tech news if we get there.
Oh, that's what this podcast is about.
I think so.
Okay.
That's what I've been told.
That's what I meant. That was my dreams. But you guys shattered it. Landon, take it away.
Well, on that note, let's start with some Apple news, shall we?
Alrighty. And he actually did catch me unawares because my Touch ID sensor is broken.
What?
It
How does
takes
that even
like
happen?
seconds to punch in. I don't know because the home button still works. And this is a fake home button.
That's
so
weird.
It's not like there's an actual button here. It's just all software and hardware and stuff. But for some reason, the Touch ID part of it is broken, but the rest of it works just fine. I don't know what the heck's going on.
So now what
there.
do you do? Do you go get a new phone?
I need to take it into the Apple reseller and find out what I do.
Technically,
it's still under
under
warranty. Yeah, it's less than a year old, so it's covered, whatever it is. I don't even know what broke it. It hasn't been immersed in water, and even if it had been, I mean, it's waterproof, mostly.
Yeah.
And no, I haven't dropped it. I don't even know.
You looked at it wrong. You made it
I
angry.
did. I did. I insulted it. I picked up another phone. I'm sorry.
What did you call Siri the other day?
You don't want to know that.
We try to... This family-friendly podcast, Wes.
Okay,
Come on.
speaking of Apple and Siri, have you seen The Rock
Yes.
and Siri?
Oh
Did
my
you go
gosh.
watch? I haven't seen it yet.
The quote-unquote
That is
film
hilarious.
that they made.
The film.
Films.
It's like, it's a
quotations.
2-minute commercial.
It is a 2-minute commercial.
Is that
but
what
it's
it
a
is?
very entertaining 2-minute commercial.
It is pretty entertaining.
I need to go see it, but it's... so when I'm at work, when I go to the break room, the TV's on. Of course, it's filled with commercials.
Yes.
And I see that, and I'm like, I kind of want to see it.
Yeah.
But
You
I
need
don't-
to watch the
I don't
whole
know.
thing,
Yeah. Not the short ones.
15-second.
Well, yeah, they say to go
version.
watch
Look
it
up
on.
the whole one.
They say to go
Yep.
watch it on YouTube/Apple or
Yep.
whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's one of those things where like Siri is like there, whatever, and the Apple ad part of it is like, okay, it's an ad, but I will watch The Rock do anything. Like that man is so entertaining. I just
he is.
like whatever. Me and my wife watched Fast and the Furious 8
Did you?
like over the weekend, and
I'm sorry.
no, I thoroughly enjoyed that movie because of The Rock and Jason Statham. Like, those two together made the whole thing really quite entertaining. The rest of it, yeah, I mean, okay, there was lots of car chases and explosions and stuff, and that's also pretty entertaining.
Do you think that's a prequel, or not a prequel, what would you call it? Anyway, some kind of glimpse of the next Expendables?
You know what? Those two series do have a lot of DNA in common with each other. So,
Yeah. And you got to get The Rock in there. I mean,
Yep.
Statham's been in there.
So
Yep,
talking
Statham
about
has.
The Rock, are you excited for Jumanji?
I actually kind of am.
Me too.
I
I'm
was-
not going to lie.
I
It
was
looks
a
pretty
little
entertaining.
worried when I saw that they were remaking it, but then it actually kind of like just the trailers make it look like it's not a remake. It's a kind of a sequel.
Just a different
Yeah.
take
It's
on
just,
it.
yeah, it's like it's the same universe, and the actual Jumanji board game still exists or could exist in that universe, and the events of the original Jumanji could have still happened
Yeah.
in that universe. Like, it's not like the original movie is gone. It's still there. We just have an additional entry to the franchise. The
I'm
one looks
excited
very
to see
entertaining.
Jack Black with the mind of a
I know.
teenage
A
girl.
teenage girl. I think he will do really
I-
well with
he
that
does
part.
well.
I think he will.
When I kept seeing Jack Black in there, I don't know if you guys saw this, but I kept thinking Tropic Thunder. Like
Yes.
Tropic Thunder 2,
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So-
that one looks really good. I also still haven't seen Central Intelligence with The Rock in it, and I've heard that is just
Is that one
hilarious.
with Kevin Hart,
Yes,
too?
The Rock
I
and
haven't
Kevin
seen
Hart.
that either.
That
I
one looks pretty funny.
Looked really funny. I still have not seen it. I need to. Anyways,
Tech podcast.
The Rock is in an Apple commercial. That's how we got here. Okay.
Love that segue. You're welcome.
So, Apple. So this past week, or a little bit more than a week ago, actually, I didn't talk about it last week in the podcast because it seemed like a total non-issue that was unimportant. Turns out very important. Apple released the firmware for the HomePod, like a pre-release firmware. I'm not sure why they did this, but it went up onto the developer portal, and developers downloaded it. And then they started looking through it, and we learned some stuff about the HomePod. Expected. We also learned a whole crap ton of stuff about the next iPhone and stuff about the Apple Watch and the next Apple TV as well. Probably not so expected. So Apple released firmware that had not been sanitized, and we have a whole bunch more rumors as a result. So I've got quite a bit to talk about. So first, let's talk about the HomePod. It features a display on the top that displays a little waveform whenever Siri is active, and that's all that we've seen it do in the promotional videos and stuff. That display itself is 272 by 340 pixels, in case anyone cared.
Just in case.
I'm not sure why it's not square. That's kind of what was weird to me.
It's because it's just doing the little waves that Siri does.
Well, but it's like circular waves. Like if you look at the pictures, it's like a little globe that's pulsing with color and stuff. It's not like lines. It's weird.
Yeah, that's
so
weird.
I'm not sure what the heck with that is. There's actually some stuff hooked into the display in the firmware to allow for buttons and that kind of thing and to register presses. So it is touch sensitive, and you will be able to use it to interact with the HomePod in lieu of having to use voice controls or a phone. So that's kind of nice. That was the second piece of HomePod news I had. The HomePod will also ship with 1 gig of RAM, which they made sure to point out was a ton more than any other like smart speaker.
Because that's necessary.
Uh-huh.
Do they need it?
Probably not.
If they want to sell it in China, they do.
There you go.
Because they're
Gotta have the
spec hungry.
RAM.
Gotta have that RAM.
Yep. I really think that it's probably because we found out that the HomePod itself is going to be running a version of iOS, not its own custom operating system that's really slimmed down and that kind of thing. And so it still has a lot of the underpinning APIs that build iOS. And so it probably does need quite a bit more RAM than comparable devices. So that's, I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, 1 gig of RAM, whatever. The thing costs $350, so
isn't
they
Apple
can afford to put a gig of RAM in there. It's not a problem.
Isn't Apple more wanting something like that because they're not really cloud-based, they're more local, so to access that fast?
Yes, yeah. And that's one of the things that, it being a full installation of iOS gives them, is they get a lot of the Siri APIs for Siri's interpretation of words and for Siri's ability to parse commands and search music and stuff like that.
Okay, that makes a little more sense for that.
Yeah. That's going to happen on device with the HomePod instead of in the cloud like you would with the Google Home.
But I guess it's like, I don't know, it just seems kind of weird to brag. Yeah, obviously they do that, but that's how they work, and the other ones don't need it because it's all cloud-based. So
right.
It's like,
yep.
I don't know if it's something to brag about.
Oh, it's not. It's just, that's the way it is. I don't think that the amount of RAM that you have on your home speaker has really anything to do with how usable the device is. To say nothing of the fact that 1 gig of RAM is not something to brag about.
Yeah.
Like in this day and age. I mean, even Apple's phones have more than that now, which they didn't for many, many years, but now they do. So yeah, that's all the news about the HomePod.
Hooray.
We didn't really learn that much about the HomePod from this HomePod firmware release, but let's talk about the iPhone.
Which we did learn a lot about.
Yes, we did. So there was an icon, weirdly embedded in the HomePod firmware of an iPhone that does not look like any existing iPhones, but does look like what the next iPhone is rumored to be like, with the little cutout on the top of the screen and the really thin bezels all the way around. So, sounds like that rumor is, this came from Apple. So unless they were deliberately planting evidence to try and screw with people, that's what the next iPhone is going to look like. It's going to have really thin bezels all the way around the side, curved corners on the screen. Everything's going to push right to the edge of the phone, except at the very top where there's going to be a little cut down into the screen to make room for the speaker, camera, and other sensors that are up there.
I heard that little notch called on the iMore show unibrow. And I really like that term.
That's pretty good. Yep.
For the notch.
Yep.
I like it.
Perfect.
Which is better than the Essential phone, which looks like a Cyclops.
True.
Well, actually, I don't know which is worse, the unibrow or the Cyclops. Either
I
way.
don't know. Cyclopses have unibrows, so
Although
There you
that
go.
should be talking about what you were saying before, Apple and putting things in to screw with people. That sounds like a really good slogan.
I have been saying for years that that's what Apple needs to start doing, is releasing stuff like
And if
as leaks, quote unquote, just to screw with people. They haven't done it yet. I'm kind of annoyed about that.
I think that would be a good slogan. Just saying.
To screw with people.
Just to screw. Put things in just to screw with people.
That's Samsung.
That's Samsung. Apple's motto is take stuff out just to screw with people. Okay, so the next thing.
We're going to rumor the new iPhone, but we're taking away that headphone jack, you bunch of sorry losers.
He's gone. Which Landon has news on that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the next thing, virtual home button. There's been references to a home button in the software that shipped with or that was in this thing, but they reference the ability for the home button to hide itself based on the context, which means that we will have some kind of context for a virtual home button on this, device that is entirely screen on the front, because
Similar
there's not going to be a home
to
button.
the Galaxy S8.
Yes. Yep. It will
Pretty
have.
much.
Basically, there was just a lot of question whether or not Apple was going to allow you to hide that virtual home button, or whether it was going to always be there. It looks like you're going to be able to hide it. Developers will be able to put that into their apps where they can go full screen and hide the home button, depending on the context.
That was a big thing when Android switched to the on-screen buttons as well.
Yes.
People were worried, well, that's just a waste of screen space. False.
No.
Because
Just
if
make
you
it
go
hide.
into a video or a game or anything like that, those buttons go away.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, we'll be seeing something similar on that. There were some things that, I don't know, it's kind of up in the air, but there was references to the cameras on this device that make it sound like it might be able to record 4K at 60 FPS on both the front and rear cameras.
Wow.
So, which is insane for shooting selfie videos, but I guess, sure.
Those are going to be some real high-quality Facebook Live
They're
videos.
going to really pack the storage on your phone.
Ugh.
I switched my phone to shooting 4K video and shot a 3-minute video and then looked at the size of that file and was like, holy crap, that's like 3 gigs.
Memory card gone.
It's like, I've got 128 gigs of storage on my phone, so it's not like I'm really starving for storage space, but I can see how you would need that much if you were exclusively shooting all your video in 4K. So 4K 60 frames per second, possibly front and rear. There are a lot of references in the firmware for radar facial recognition. So instead of optical facial recognition like the Galaxy S8 is doing, using actual radar to do it, which sounds more reliable. My familiarity with radar as a technology versus actual visible light or infrared light or something like that, it's got advantages and disadvantages. Like the fidelity of radar isn't nearly as good, but the penetration and functionality in low light situations and that kind of thing, and varying types of light and from many different angles. So I don't know if they're going to combine the two and we're going to have some kind of optical cameras in addition to radar. But it sounds like radar facial recognition is at least something that they're messing around with. It's a part of iOS at the moment, or this version of iOS that was on this firmware, which they're guessing is 11.0.2. So not actually iOS 11, which is why we haven't seen it in any of the betas. It's a couple of versions down the line from that.
Which is why it should not have been leaked.
Right. Unless Apple did this on purpose.
True.
This is such a massive thing that I don't think they could have done this accidentally.
Well, it's just as bad as someone leaving a phone at a bar.
That's true. That's true. I guess there's precedence for that. So I don't know. It's weird.
That guy probably did get fired because that was
probably did,
when Steve
yes.
Jobs was still alive.
Yep.
And he was pissed.
I think
I
he
was
just
going to
got
say,
a little
are
slap
we sure
on the
he
wrist.
didn't just get killed? Because he might have just gotten killed.
That's
is that
true.
man still alive? We don't know. Okay, so
I think he just got a slap on the wrist. Steve Jobs seems like a reasonable
super,
guy.
super nice guy.
I mean, he's
Yeah,
all for
sure.
everybody. And
Yep, totally. Those are true words. All right.
Just ask Steve Wozniak.
just
He'll tell you.
Yeah,
he'll tell you
Steve.
exactly.
Good old wasn't. Okay, so in reference to the radar facial recognition stuff, they're suggesting that means that the phone will be able to actually recognize your face if it's laying flat on a table or something like that to pretty oblique angles. which
the
would be
phone.
awesome.
Sorry, I thought you were meaning if your face was laying flat on a table.
No,
I'm
if
like,
the
that's
phone-
actually pretty good
if
reading.
the phone
if you
is
could-
laying flat.
Sorry, when you were explaining, I'm like, wait, why would you? Oh, the phone.
So
Sorry,
when you're face desking, the phone will still be able to unlock.
I'm sorry. I'm Internet Explorer over here. Browsers.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, when the phone is lying flat on a table, it'll
you.
still be able to recognize your face, even at pretty extreme angles. Meaning that it wouldn't be that, like, because a lot of the things like facial recognition to unlock your phone instead of a fingerprint sensor means that if it's sitting on the table like 3 feet away from you, you're not going to be able to unlock it with your finger like you can with the fingerprint sensor. And like, how dumb is that? And so they're saying that no, actually you will be able to do that if this radar facial recognition actually turns out to be what we think it is. That goes along with the next rumor, is that this firmware contains absolutely no references to Touch ID. Bummer.
Yeah.
Because I really want Touch ID. Now, that being said, it would kind of be silly for this firmware to contain zero references to Touch ID, because this version of iOS will still have to run on phones that have Touch ID.
Right.
And it's still going to work with Touch ID, even if the new phone doesn't have Touch ID. So that's not really confirmation, but it is another piece of evidence, just kind of pushing toward that direction that we may not have Touch ID on this new fancy phone. And I'm skeptical about that working out.
Well, this has been brought up in other podcasts and blogs and stuff, is the fact that I don't see the face recognition being quite as secure as Touch ID.
Yeah.
Because bone structure and stuff like that can be similar between people, like twins especially.
Yep.
Have basically the same face.
Yep.
And I don't know how Apple is going to make this as secure as Touch ID.
Yeah, I really don't know how you would. It seems like the only way to make it as secure as Touch ID is to make it reject really frequently, which means it would not be as convenient as Touch ID. And
yeah,
you've got your option of being secure or being convenient with facial recognition as we understand it today. And I don't think that that's good. That's not going to work. That's not going to replace Touch ID, because Touch ID is both convenient and secure, and it's awesome. That's not to say Apple couldn't come out with something that is actually really secure and also super convenient, and maybe that's what this radar quote-unquote facial recognition is going to be, but we don't know. And it seems like the technology needed to make Touch ID work underneath a display is probably more realistic than the technology needed to make to make facial recognition both secure and as convenient as Touch ID.
Yeah, and the problem is it's just that technology is not quite up to scale that Apple would need it to be.
Yeah,
for an iPhone, and that's the same reason Samsung doesn't have it on the S8.
Yes,
and they're rumored to not even have it until the Note 9.
Yeah,
which is another 2 flagships away.
Yep. Well, and that's the thing. That's Qualcomm's technology. That's the stuff that we've seen that says, yes, this is technically possible, but it's not up to scale. We can't produce this at scale.
Yeah.
Apple was supposedly rolling their own deal. So, again, their secrecy being what it is, we have no idea.
And
actually,
they could
if that
still
is
be,
working
because
or not.
they did buy the company that produced Touch ID sensors for them in the past.
Yes.
So they could be doing this.
Yeah. That seems like a massive investment to just ditch the Touch ID sensor on their phones going forward. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Didn't they pay like $2 or $3 million for that, or more? Probably more.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of evidence that's kind of suggesting like, oh, no Touch ID, no Touch ID. And all the supply chain sources are like, oh, no Touch ID. And I'm kind of like, is it possible that the reason you're not seeing Touch ID is because the only stuff that's really being produced at scale right now are glass fronts and backs and stuff like that, and there's obviously no cutout for a Touch ID sensor or any other indication from those devices or from those parts that there would be, and so the supply chain doesn't actually know whether or not it's going to work.
And also the fact that the more recent rumors about the iPhone, I might be skipping ahead a little bit, but are even for the quote unquote cheaper models
cheaper
are going to have glass backs.
Yes.
You could put a Touch ID sensor anywhere on that.
Yep.
Because it's glass.
Yep.
And it's not going through a screen, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yep.
And I honestly would hope and kind of think it'd be smart to put it right on the Apple logo in the back. because then it's something.
It blends in.
It's right where you need it to be. It blends in. Doesn't look like there's something there.
Yep.
I think it would be really smart, and I could see them doing that if they do go with the glass backs.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it would just work.
Which would be for wireless charging. And I think
Right.
there's a good chance that's, I mean, that one is coming from KGI Securities, and that one sounds like they're pretty sure that, yes, these cheaper devices, cheaper, again, quote, are going to have glass backs and support wireless charging. Like, that seems pretty confident. So I really hope that we are going to see some form of Touch ID, because Touch ID is amazing. If it does move to the back, that's better than nothing. I prefer it on the front, but, we'll see. Like, at this point, the rumors are really starting to wrap up, and unfortunately, this thing with the HomePod leak didn't actually resolve any of my worries.
Yeah.
so I'm kind of just like, okay, we'll find out.
It is. You gotta give it to them. I mean, they're just trying to get data. It sounds like, to me, it just sounds like they're just like, hey, we're gonna put this in, have people try it, and if you want to try it, and it just gives them more data, being like, oh, let's make to
right.
improve it. So
yeah, to say that facial recognition is a secondary feature that you can use or you can choose not to use, that would be awesome. And
but to
I would
go
totally try
away
it
from
out.
Touch ID and only have this option would
without
not be...
ever having tried facial recognition.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
That's kind of the thing.
I don't know. That seems way too silly.
Yeah, it's very un-Apple.
Yeah.
It's very un-Apple.
Sometimes.
Well, okay, that's true. It's just like Apple's been really good about pretty consistently when they add a new feature, it's because that feature has been tried and tested and they're confident it is going to be an improvement over the user experience of their previous devices.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like right in the situation with it, I wouldn't think they'd get away from that Touch ID because I think they'd really strongly push the facial, obviously the radar thing.
Right, but leave Touch ID there just in case it turns out to not work as well as they think it will. Yeah. And I hope that's what is going to happen. I don't know. Maybe Apple has developed some kind of revolutionary facial recognition technology that just blasts radar signals out from the phone in 360 degrees, and no matter how you're holding the thing, it can detect your face with like 99.9% accuracy from like 5 feet away. And maybe that happened.
Crazy.
Seems very unlikely.
That's crazy.
So
all the possibilities.
We'll find out. Okay, so moving on. The last couple of things that we did get out of the HomePod firmware were for the Apple Watch and the Apple TV. So there were references to a new skiing workout for the Apple Watch. So just with this last version, they introduced support for swimming, and they've improved on that, the quality of the workout tracking for the Apple Watch while you're swimming. So looks like they're going to start giving the same treatment to skiing. So cool for all you skiers out there.
That's me.
Yeah, cool.
And then
Except I don't have an Apple Watch.
Yeah, well.
How about your wife? She's a skier.
She is a skier.
Does she have an Apple Watch?
She does not have an Apple Watch. She would like one.
Come on, man. Get on the ball.
Hey, they're like $350.
She's like the ultimate person that needs one. She does CrossFit and she skis.
She does
and,
CrossFit. She skis. She
Dang.
could actually really use one.
She could roundhouse kick you in the face. Is what she could do.
She could kick all of our butts.
Yes. Yeah, she totally could.
Wow.
Buy her an Apple Watch.
Buy her an Apple.
I really should.
I'm going to let her know that you're going to buy her one.
Christmas is coming.
That wouldn't be good. So I hear you're buying me something, Caleb.
I better start saving. Okay. So, and then the Apple TV. So there were references in there to the Apple TV that sure make it sound like it is going to support 4K, HDR10, and Dolby Vision, which is like all the fancy new video technology.
You.
And kind of not that surprising. And we're all a little surprised that the last one didn't support 4K.
Yeah.
But I'm still using it with a 720p TV, so.
And that was kind of their reason, is like most people haven't gone to 4K TVs yet.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, why not just future-proof your device?
Yep.
But then they couldn't make more on a new one, so,
Yeah, that's fair. That being said, though, that 4th gen Apple TV, bought it
Pretty
a couple
awesome.
years ago. I have literally, like, negative regrets. Like, I'm so glad I made that purchase. Well worth $150, which is weird. But, like, it seems really expensive for just a freaking streaming box when you can get a Roku for so much less money.
Or I can get Roku built into my 4K TV for...
Right, yeah. But it really
comes
has
with it.
been worth it.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic device. Anyways, okay. So that was the HomePod firmware leak. Or release. I mean, it was technically a release. It was just released without being sanitized first, and we're not sure whether or not that constitutes as a leak or whether it was deliberate.
Drip.
None of us
Drip.
know.
Drip.
Yeah.
Drip.
We'll find out. if all of the stuff that I just said turns out to be incorrect, then we'll know that Apple did it directly did intentionally just to misdirect everyone.
Tim.
Oh.
Which seriously, why they haven't done that yet, and I'm kind of upset. Okay, so there were a couple of more rumors about the Apple Watch. So this is the Apple Watch 3 we're talking about now. So it's going to launch with the new phones, supposedly, which meaning, an early September announce and then a late September release. It's going to include an LTE modem. Kind of not terribly surprising considering that's the direction that all of the Android makers are going with their watches, which is kind of silly to me because following the direction that Android makers have gone with things has never worked out well for Apple. So
hasn't worked out well for Android either.
Yeah, I don't
At least not in the watch area.
The problem there will be battery life.
Yeah, I was going to say that
will just drain battery life, but
whatever. I can understand having your watch connect to Wi-Fi on its own. Like mine will connect to Wi-Fi on its own, so if my phone's out of range of Bluetooth, it'll still get, notifications through Wi-Fi.
Yep.
But LTE, that's just another device you have to pay for data for.
Yes. Yep.
That's
and
exactly
again,
what I
like
thought.
Caleb said, battery.
Yes.
That's the biggest culprit is battery.
Yeah, and when you're already talking about devices that have, a 1-day battery life, you really don't want to try and tax the tiny, 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 tiny batteries on those things more than you have to.
No.
It's just, I don't know. They've only got a 12-hour battery life. Come on.
The only way this would be beneficial is if it worked with something similar to like Project Fi, and you could get a data-only SIM card, and you only pay for data that you use. That's where it would be beneficial.
Yes.
Like you can do that with an iPad.
Yep.
If you have a phone that is on Project Fi and you want one for an iPad or a tablet, you can do data only, and it's awfully convenient. But you can't do it right now with a watch.
Yep.
And that's the only way I would want an
no
LTE
SIM
enabled
cards.
watch.
Yeah, it's a strange direction, but we'll see if they have something to make it compelling. Okay, so that's all of the Apple news that I have, and actually really all of the tech news that I have. I did want to give a small review of Microsoft Teams from the perspective of somebody in the Apple ecosystem, because my job forced us off of Slack and onto Microsoft Teams a couple of weeks ago.
Really? You didn't tell me this?
Because jerks.
This is actually kind of exciting.
Yeah.
It could be depressing.
So
Anticipation.
here is my brief review focused around the iOS app and the Mac desktop app
Brace
of
yourself,
Microsoft
Wes.
Teams.
I haven't heard a lot of this. This is actually really intriguing. Like,
I can't
if it's
speak.
worth it.
I can't speak for any of the Windows stuff, but this is okay. So
It's okay. They don't speak for themselves either.
that's kind of true.
I was going to say, considering the way Windows or Microsoft has been going, the iOS app is probably better than anything on the Windows platform.
I still don't have a Mixer app.
I don't have any major complaints with the iOS app, other than this first complaint for the desktop app. But the desktop app has confusing UX. It is really dog slow, and notifications don't work 60% of the time.
Huh.
So
Lovely.
it's kind of dumb.
It's kind of the point of those services is to have
Yeah.
notifications.
So the problem there is that they're using their own notification system instead of rolling with the OS's notification system, like every other app that sends you notifications on the entire Mac ecosystem.
Yeah, that's stupid.
So that means that certain apps and certain operating system conditions actually block the notifications from actually showing up. So if I'm using some apps, I just don't get notifications for Teams, which are unfortunately the apps that I use to do my job the most.
Yes, you need
which means that I'll be doing something and I'll be really in the zone and that kind of thing, and then I'll look down at Teams and it's like, oh, I missed an entire conversation where people were asking me for input on something that I know about, and I'm like,
By the
that
way,
was 3 hours ago. Sorry guys, I don't know.
By the way, now you know my story of using Slack on my Windows phone.
Is that how it is?
Because you guys will have a full-on conversation sometimes. Like the whole notes thing when you asked me for the notes, and I just clicked. I was like, and all of a sudden, as soon as I click Slack, all of a sudden it goes ding, ding, ding,
Just all
ding,
these
notifications. I'm like,
in.
oh, I feel like a jerk. And then it was like, never mind, Waz, I don't need them.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
So
yeah,
that's my life.
It's just one of those things where we switched to Microsoft Teams because we were paying for Office 365 for the entire company, and Microsoft Teams comes included with that. And
Do you pay? Is there a Slack premium?
Yes,
or anything?
and they were
that's
paying.
okay.
They were paying for Slack, and so they're all like, "We're not paying for Slack anymore." Everyone moved to Teams, and everyone was just just stop paying for Slack. We'll use the free one. That's just fine. And then they shut down the Slack channel, and we're all like, but you could just stop paying for it. Like, really, we don't need, because all that the premium one gives you is it stores all of your conversation history forever and gives you an enormous amount of file storage in the cloud. Yeah. That's not what we're using it for. We're using it for like really quick conversations.
Yeah, if you're only using it for like
Messenger.
text back and forth, you don't need the extra storage.
Like, it deletes the messages from about like a week ago, which, that's more than we need, and it only gives you a couple of gigs of file storage, which is fine because the only files we're storing are GIFs that we're sending to people. Like, it's not important information. We can delete that stuff. Like, that's fine. We can use the free one, but no.
So just on the actual Mac, on the Macintosh.
Yes, the Mac desktop app is retarded, and the UX is the same across the board. Like, the mobile app and the Windows app, I have used both of them, and the user interface is just really confusing because, like, as a society, we're all pretty used to the concept of a chat/messenger interface.
Right.
And Teams has that, except every time you hit enter, you're creating a new message thread, and then it stacks the threads on top of each other, and then you're supposed to have conversations inside of those threads. But sometimes people don't realize, or they don't click on the right reply box, and they start a whole new thread outside of that conversation, and so their reply will get dumped into a new thread, and then the conversation will continue on the original thread, and that reply doesn't actually get put into context, and you're just like, what in the heck is going on?
Oh, wow.
And it's really annoying, and I'm just like, holy crap, why could you not have done like everyone else and make every like thread a thing over on the side? And then every time you click on a thread, you're just seeing that thread instead of seeing a huge stack of all of these threads all at the same time. It's it's really confusing. It kind of blows my mind.
That does sound pretty bad.
It's I don't know. The notifications issue, that's a Mac thing as far as I'm aware, because Windows was stupid and rolled their own notification service that doesn't work more than half the time. But yeah, just the UI inside of the app is very confusing, and I am never quite sure what exactly they want me to do with what I'm trying to say. So I've reverted back to using emails for everything.
Oh my gosh.
And
nice.
That works, at least how I expect it to.
That does sound very complicated. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. I'm trying to be Microsoft over here and be like, okay, why would you do that? Because that really sounds... I understand where they're going with it, but to have it use that layout, I'm like, that sounds awful. Yeah. Especially to people that aren't as computer savvy.
And that's the thing. I could probably get used to it. I mean, and I will get used to it. It won't take me long to get used to it. I am getting used to it. I'm starting to understand what the heck is going on when I look at the app. But it's taken me a couple of weeks of using this app in order to start to figure out exactly how this is supposed to work. And anyone who isn't spending as much time in it as I am, it's going to take them way longer. And some of those people are just never going to figure it out. And I'm kind of like... I mean, if they had a really compelling reason for bucking the trend of every other messaging app on the planet
for 10 years,
we've had ever since flipping AOL, back in the day in chat rooms, this has been around forever, and nobody's changed it because it works. We've modified it, we've added a few things, but every time you open up a Messenger app, it's pretty clear that you're looking at this kind of hierarchy of here's a list of messages or conversations and that kind of thing, and here's what you're looking at in that conversation.
Sounds like a forum. That's how you're describing it. It sounds like a forum on a website.
Except you can't zoom in on just one conversation.
Yeah, that's weird.
They're all stacked. You can't just go I only want to see this conversation. It's in a list with all of the other conversations for that group.
And who's replied? This person replied. It puts that
shows,
at the top.
It puts every time you type something into the main box at the bottom, the main text box.
Yes.
Starts a new conversation when you hit enter, and each of those conversations has a reply link underneath it that you can click on and type something in and hit enter. And so it will put all of those replies right underneath that conversation and put that conversation right at the bottom of the list of conversations. And so every time somebody replies to a conversation above you, if it's off your screen, you don't see it. You might get notified about it if they tag you, but if you're not following that specific conversation and they don't tag you, you don't see that stuff. So whether or not that information is pertinent to you, you're not going to see it. And it's just really, I don't know, it's bizarre how they've got it laid out. And like I said, I can get used to it, but I'm just, why did they do this? Why did they make that decision? And why did they buck all of the established trends in order to make that decision? Who thought that was a good idea?
Browsers.
It's like, maybe it is
I
a
don't
really
know.
good idea if somebody has some kind of like, well, this is the obvious increase in usability, or this is the specific use case where this makes the most sense. Feel free to let me know. You know, you can email us, you can get us on Twitter or Facebook or something like that. But like, I'm just really, I don't even know what the heck is going on with Microsoft Teams, and it makes me want to not use it. Like, just because
Well, that
it's
sucks.
confusing.
That does suck because, you know, I haven't heard very much of Teams because, you know, everyone that's been using Slack's like, well, I'm just
Slack
what we're
works
on,
really well. Yeah, like,
you know,
stick
and
with
so,
Slack.
but the stuff I've heard, people are like, yeah, it's okay. Nothing good and nothing negative. So this is interesting to me because I'm like trying to get it from someone that's not fully in that business, but you're forced to be like, okay, now you got to try it, and it's really interesting.
Yep.
So
I mean, my biggest gripe is still the notifications. Like,
well, yeah, that's
that was
got to
a
be annoying.
Stupid decision, and there's no redeeming that. Just use Mac OS's notification system.
Which it's funny
Will
because
they let them though?
Oh yeah, yeah. Any app developer can just plug into that API to send notifications
I wasn't
into
sure
the
about
OS
Slack
notification
does
tray.
that.
Slack does it. Works great. Like, everyone does it. Works great.
well, it's kind of funny because, like, if you think about how Windows is with the Windows Store, there's a lot of certain rules that apps have to apply to, and if they're not going to do it on other operating systems,
Why should people
come
do it on
on.
theirs?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because that's the thing. In order to sell an app like this in the Mac App Store, you kind of have to make it comply to Apple's guidelines. And it's the same way with the Windows Store. They feel exactly the same way. And yet, this app would not be accepted into the Mac App Store because it's not using their notification service. It's using a custom one.
That's interesting.
doesn't work half
Do you
the
know?
time.
You've probably looked. Have you looked into that, like for settings or anything? Like, hey, use this. I don't know if that'd be. I have no idea.
Another annoying thing that this app has is the preferences window is not the default preferences window for every other program in Mac OS. They all have the name of the program up in the bar across the top of the screen. You click on that, and there's a preferences link right there. You click on that, pulls up preferences. It's that way for everything. Web browsers, web browsers all the way through most games even have preferences that you can select from that menu right there. But this one does not. You have to access the preferences from somewhere else in the UI that is not even in the same place as preferences links inside of other Microsoft apps. It's hidden in a weird place down in like the bottom corner. And so you click on that. It gives you some notification links. It took me a while to figure out that to get notifications at all out of Teams, you have to follow the conversation, like the channels that the conversations are happening inside of. So I had to go and follow all of the ones that I was interested in. And then it took me a while after that to realize that depending on which piece of software I was using on my computer, I'm still not going to see notifications for this stuff because they're like technically getting thrown. They're just getting intercepted by something else, some other process that's running on the operating system. And it's really weird. I don't know who made that decision, but it was a really bad one. And Microsoft, if you're listening, please stop.
Please stop.
Please. Like, I have missed a lot of important information as a result of this, and it kind of makes it difficult to do my job. So,
Interesting.
that's all of my tech news. My end rant.
And Rand
We're done.
and Caleb's review on Teams.
very nice.
Fix your notifications. Notifications done badly is like worse than no notifications at all, I feel like.
It's true.
Yes.
It's true.
And that
Especially-
applies to everything.
Yeah.
Because at least if there's no notifications, you can know that and just make
Right.
yourself go into the app.
You
to
get into the
figure-
habit
yeah.
of checking manually.
Yeah.
But if there's supposed to be notifications, you don't get into that habit. And then when the notifications don't show up, then you just miss stuff. So, yeah, maybe I should turn notifications off, actually. Maybe that would...
Then they'll start
And
showing
then-
up.
Probably. No, like if I turn them off, though, then I'll get into the habit of manually checking, and maybe that would be better. So I might do that.
Return and report later.
Yes, I'll let you know if that helps.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awful.
If I hate it any less after I do that.
Well, thanks for all that information. I will not be switching to Microsoft Teams anytime soon. Not that I could.
I was
but
going to say, I don't think you can. It's not a quick switch.
No, it's
No.
not.
You
I'd
gotta
have
get
to pay a lot of
business.
money.
Yeah.
So, anyways, moving on. We'll go on to some Google news. skip Windows because that's not important.
Yeah. Apparently, we got to let Caleb cool down.
Yes, please. So that I'm not just over here throwing things at Wes the rest of the podcast.
Yeah.
How dare you? It's not my fault. I just used their stuff. Come on. I didn't design this. Okay.
Or
anyway.
did you?
Yet.
He secretly works for Microsoft.
Secretly.
He's just here to...
Well, okay, so
Of course
Wes,
I'll do a
please
podcast.
fix the
Yeah,
notifications.
Wes, friggin' fix this, okay? I'll do my best.
Yeah. Okay, Google News. As of today, you can download the latest security update for Pixel and Nexus devices.
Please do.
Yep, I did before the podcast started, and it's fine. It's just a security update.
Well, security. Definitely do that.
There, it
Be
did say
secure.
some minor bug fixes, but that's kind of a duh thing to expect in any update.
You assume that if they're updating the software, they're fixing bugs. Like, hopefully?
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, introducing new bugs as well. Hopefully they're keeping about an even number there of fixes versus new.
Generally, that's the way it works. And also, as of a couple days ago, Google started their back-to-school deals on the Google Store, which there's some actually pretty good ones. We'll start with the not as good ones. You can get a free Chromecast audio if you buy a Wi-Fi 3-pack. So buy the Google Wi-Fi routers, the 3-pack, because, you need 3 of them.
By the way, something I've just recently now experienced with was a Google Chromecast.
Right.
It's been out for a long time. I just never had one because obviously I don't have a Google phone. But
It works with iPhone, but you don't have that.
I
either.
don't have that either.
It does work with Windows operating system,
Yes.
like desktop.
One thing I thought was really cool. Well, I haven't had the need for it because
Right.
the Xbox is the same thing. I can just say, "Oh, stream my whatever to this Xbox."
Yeah.
Cool, whatever. I haven't had a need for it. Well, my brother was trying to show me something, and it was on his phone. For some reason, he's like, "Well, I just want to bring the video down. I'll just bring my computer down." I'm like, "That just seems like a lot of work. Like, we should be able to figure this out easy, to be able to just send it." Because his computer didn't have it's a desktop and it doesn't have Wi-Fi. Anyway, so that's that was the predicament. Anyway, he's like, "Hey, I've got this Chromecast. Will this work?" And I'm like, "Well, I've never used one, but we can sure as try."
But in theory.
But it was cool. We just plugged it right in the back of the receiver, and the receiver's hooked to the TV, and so it has everything. And so he wanted to show me the new Dragon Ball Zs. He's like, "This is really cool, and you're going to watch it." And so, which they kind of are. I'm kind of a nerd for that. But anyway, but he's like, "Check it out." And so, like, we got on there, and he was using the Chromecast, and the way it was working, I was just like, that is amazing. Like, I know it's been out forever, and I am totally late to this game. I'm sorry, but I'm just saying that is so cool.
For what a Chromecast is, it is really cool. For $35, you can do a lot of cool crap with the Chromecast.
Plug and play, like that's all I did. I was like, okay, plug it in, and it was actually linked to another phone or someone else's. He borrowed it or something. Anyway, but it was just easy to set up. It's just like, just put in. I guess you have to have an app, the Google Home app or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Get that and then connect it, and boom, and it just works. And it hooks up to our receiver. I mean, it's with the HDMI and everything. It works great, and I'm just like, wow, this is actually really cool. So no, I know, but I was pretty happy about that. And I know, like I said, I'm totally late to this, but I was pretty excited to watch that and to get just going on these videos and things. I was like, is it bad that I kind of really want one now? It's very convenient because obviously it's like someone wants to show you something. And the TV I have hooked up also is like any TV. I've never been able to get one of those smart TVs that all phones could just hook up to with their mirror image or whatever thing.
Right.
It's always like, oh, this doesn't have the right sort of mirror image, so you can't do it. So I've always just whatever. But with the Chromecast, I was like, that is pretty dope.
There are TVs now, Vizio in particular, that makes cast-enabled TVs, has a Chromecast built into it.
That's cool.
Yeah, so some of their newer, quote-unquote, cheaper 4K TVs have Chromecast built into them. Which is pretty cool,
super
too.
ingenious.
Yeah.
But yeah, so sorry, I know it's totally old-fashioned news, and but I've just experienced it, and I thought that was pretty dope.
Yeah, and I mean for $35, it's one of the more popular smart TV things you can buy because it's so cheap and it's so easy to use. The downside to it is it doesn't have its own I mean, it's got kind of a UI to it, but it's pretty much everything that you do everything on your phone or your tablet or your computer.
Yep.
So that's the kind of the downside, but at the same time, it's super easy to use and they're really handy. Like we used one to stream the Super Bowl once because
that's awesome.
We didn't have like regular TV on the TV we wanted to watch it on, so I brought my Chromecast, plugged it in, went up to my dad's laptop, turned it on there, and then just cast the browser through Chrome to the TV and watched it that way.
That's cool.
And it worked really well.
Yeah, that's cool. So, sorry, you said Chromecast, and I was like, oh, I didn't want to mention that.
Yeah, this one, though, is the Chromecast audio, and it works the same way, but it just does audio. You can plug it into a home theater system or any speaker, and it'll just work.
That's so cool.
And the cool thing with that is you can get multiple of them, and they all kind of work together.
To do what?
So you
kind
can
of a
stream
mesh
out
network,
of
basically.
multiple speakers at the same time, basically.
Yeah.
So
if your speakers don't connect themselves, like to each other, then you could have multiple Chromcasts connected, and they'll all stream together.
If it's audio, is it just an optical out from it?
It's auxiliary, just a normal headphone.
Yeah, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. But yeah, you just plug it into as many speakers as you want and go, boom. You can because you have to do that through the Google Home app or whatever, and so you have to group them together and that kind of thing. But yeah, it's actually one of the things that I kind of wish that Apple would make a little bit easier, and they are with tvOS 11. They're going to make it so that you can stream stuff to several 4th generation Apple TVs at a time. But it would be really nice if I could AirPlay to my 3rd generation Apple TV and my 4th generation Apple TV at the same time. And kind of bummed that's never going to be a thing, but
That is so cool though. No, but
So if you buy the deal on this one is if you buy the Google Wi-Fi 3-pack, you can get a free Chromecast audio. Again, not that great of a deal, but it's there.
It's a savings of $20.
It's 30 or 35 or something like that. So I mean, a
$30.
little bit of savings, but you're spending $300 to get or $250 to get
on
the 3-pack of routers, which most people don't need.
Yep.
Another couple more deals. You can get a Google Home for $109. That's $20 off. Not too bad. Not the best deal that's been available for. The best one from Google, but if you want a better deal, look at Best Buy. They generally have it for cheaper than that.
I was going to say, if you want a better deal on a Google Home, shouldn't you be buying a Pixel right now?
No.
No?
Yeah, that's for something else.
Oh, no.
Oh, well, maybe if through Best Buy.
It was Best Buy, I think.
Had that deal or something like that.
And it's probably over by now.
Best Buy also has a deal right now for Google Home. You can get a Home and a Philips Hue light kit for $200 or something like that.
Dang.
A pretty decent. It's
it's half price,
$50
basically.
or $60 off, or it's not half price, but it's relatively cheap.
Yeah.
For the combined total.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good deal.
Huh. That's cool.
You can also get the Google On Hub router, which is for $100. It's $30 off.
Okay. For people that don't know, why?
Just buy the Wi-Fi. It's better. It's newer.
All right.
Fair point.
Anyways, but it's on sale. The best deals are with the Pixel phones. You can get both of them come with a free Daydream View, which is an $80 deal right there.
Yep.
Which actually $60 deal because they just discounted that $20 recently. Still $60 deal there, and the regular Pixel starts at only $524. That's $125 off.
Yeah.
Or the Pixel XL starts at $569, which is $200 off.
Yeah. Must be nice to buy phones from people that occasionally put their phones on sale.
This is the first time that Google has put these phones on sale.
Still, though, that's more times than Apple.
True. True.
By one.
But still. I mean,
that's a really good deal.
It has helped Google and the Pixel because the resale value is better than any other Android phone because they haven't discounted them.
They don't give them away like Samsung does, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But, like I said, this is the best deal that Google has done on these phones. There have been better deals from other companies, but those are generally pay this much a month and you get a deal after 2 or 5 years or whatever, something stupid. So, if you're looking to buy one right now, would be a decent time, but at the same time, I would say wait because there's going to be a new one in October.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be awesome. We'll get to that actually right now. Pixel 2
Yay!
rumors and leaks.
What a segue.
Yeah.
That was good.
There's been quite a few of them, actually.
Segways or leaks and rumors?
Segways are going out of popularity, actually, so mostly just leaks and rumors.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Yeah. Although that'd be so fun. I still want to get a Segway.
I've never
do
actually
too.
seen a Segway in the wild.
I never
want
have
one.
either.
I've seen one, and it's pretty cool. It was down further south in Ogden.
Yeah.
Someone was down at the mall in one, and I was like,
They look pretty darn
"Can I
convenient.
just? You can follow me. I just want to try it. Can I just try it?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to try one.
It'd be so cool."
But anyways, let's segue back into the Pixel leaks.
Oh,
That was horrible.
There it is.
Anyways,
that was terrible.
so a couple weeks ago, Android Police leaked out a render of the Pixel 2, well, the Pixel XL2, and it's very similar to the Samsung and LG phones with the giant, tall display and small pixels. Small bezels, lots of pixels.
Small pixels as well. They're tiny.
They are small.
There's just many of them.
There's many. Now we have some actual photos, supposedly, of the smaller Pixel phone, and it doesn't have quite the same display. It's gonna be similar to the first generation Pixel size wise, but it does have stereo speakers on the front again, which thank goodness. That's the thing I hated the most about my Pixel is the non-stereo speakers.
Yep.
I think
And the two front-facing speakers.
I think everyone's getting that vibe. Like, maybe we should put them on the front.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll stop complaining.
Yeah,
Because,
maybe.
dude, going from having the speakers in the front, going to where it's shooting out the back. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I
You
know.
Going
really
from best to
went
worst?
backwards
Yeah.
there.
I did. I did.
Mine didn't go that bad. It went to the bottom,
Yeah.
but still not nearly as nice as two
Yeah.
front-facing speakers.
Nope.
So that's rumored to be on both phones, which is very nice. And the design leaks that have been coming out are basically similar to what Android Police had a couple weeks ago. It's still got the glass on the back, but it's a smaller section. And it's still the all aluminum body and very similar to what we have now, just tweaked a little bit. I think it looks a little bit better. I can't say I'm going to be getting one. I wish I could, but I probably won't be because I have this one.
Yeah.
And I told my wife I'd have it for 2 years, so I kind of have to go with that. Unless all of a sudden I come across a whole bunch of money.
It could happen.
Buying a new phone. Could. Probably not.
Here's for hoping.
Yeah.
We'll not hold our breaths.
Yeah. Moving on. I don't know if we've talked about this or not, but it's been rumored for a while that the Galaxy S8 Active was a thing, and now it is. It's exclusive to AT&T, but only for a limited time, whereas before, the active versions of the phones have always just been on AT&T. So the benefit of that is it doesn't have the ugly AT&T branding on the back, and if you want one and you're not on AT&T, you will be able to get one eventually. They don't have a date yet. I would assume probably 2 or 3 months, and then you'll be able to get one, and you'll be able to buy it unlocked from Samsung, which is also a benefit.
Yeah.
Specs on this one, it's similar to the S8 and S8, well, not Plus, but S8. It's got the Snapdragon 835, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage, 12 megapixel rear camera, 8 megapixel front, a 5.8-inch shatter-resistant QHD Super AMOLED display, and here's the big one, 4,000 milliamp hour battery, which is 500 bigger than the S8 Plus.
When was the last time they tried to shove a huge battery into a phone? Let's think about this for a second. Oh, yeah. It was the Note 7.
But it wasn't this big.
Right.
But I can guarantee you that this phone is not going to explode on its own. Not saying that there's not going to be somebody out there that tries, because I guarantee there will be, because, you know.
Have you heard of a website called YouTube?
Yes, I
I
have.
bet you could find it.
Oh, I guarantee you can. This phone goes on pre-order on August 8th and is in store August 11th. So I don't know what the price is. Probably around
bunch of money.
$750 to $800.
it's a bunch of money.
So tomorrow.
That's my guess.
Yes, tomorrow, as of this recording.
Wait a second. So are we done with the Pixel then? The Pixel 2? Like you aren't going to talk anymore about what maybe it doesn't have?
Oh, yeah.
He's really excited about this.
It's rumored to not have a headphone jack. Which, again, to me, I don't care. But I do care because it's stupid. Thank you, Apple, for doing that.
We're going to be
And
complaining
ruining
about
everyone's
it
lives.
for years. Everyone's going to be complaining about it for years, and then we're all going to stop complaining about it, and it will just be a way of life. And then we'll see stuff that has headphone jacks, and we'll be like, holy crap, that's really old. Like the PS2 ports on my on the computer that I just gave away like the other day. I was like, I pulled my mouse and keyboard off of that thing, and I was like, holy crap, these are PS2. Like, what the...
Isn't that crazy?
I can't even believe that still exists. And it doesn't actually still exist.
That's the
Except,
definition.
no, you can still buy motherboards that have those things on. Why? Why? Motherboard makers. Anyways.
Definition of legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some year down the line, we will forget about the 3.5mm headphone jack. But
Maybe.
right now,
It'll be a while.
people are going to be complaining about it for a while.
Yep.
Well, it's true because, I mean, there's some devices, I mean, you're just able to use the auxiliary port to your headphone jack, and it's very handy. That a lot of people are set up to have that, and now it's just basically forcing them to upgrade or buy a Bluetooth adapter. Anyway.
Yay for adapters.
Yeah, those don't work very well.
Are they going to ship an adapter with it in the box? That's the real question. If
Who
they
knows?
actually...
Google's
the
usually
headphone
pretty good
jack
about
off.
doing stuff like that, so maybe.
You'd hope so.
I'd hope so. I mean, if the fact that Apple did, which surprised everyone, and then only sold them for $9, which was I was expecting $25.
Also surprising, yes. No, if they really want to one-up Apple, what they'll do is get rid of the headphone jack and then give you an adapter that also has a charging port on it in addition to a headphone jack.
Well, it would because it'll be USB-C.
Well, right, but if it's just USB-C to headphone jack,
That's true.
that's the
but
problem
it could charge your
that
headphones
Apple has.
if you had wired, powered headphones.
Yeah, that would be strange.
But it's possible. It's just weird.
Well, I mean, I guess noise-canceling headphones often have that option, but I don't think that it would be able to charge those because you can't actually send that much power over the 3.5 head. Actually, you can. There are iPods you charge that way. I forgot about those. They don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anywho,
we talked about that last week.
Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to get the headphone jack thing out there just because, you all can stop screaming it at me now. You can also scream at Landon too.
Yeah.
Just share the love.
Yay.
And then there's Microsoft that just has everything. Please
Except
like
USB-C. They don't have USB-C yet.
It's true.
USB-C. Oh, so sad. Neither
just
does...
on the Surface. I mean,
just
on their main device.
Their main product. Actually, on their earnings call, I think Surface was the only thing that wasn't making a profit.
Ooh,
that's because
that's
not
didn't
the
put
plan
USB-C
of Surface.
on it.
I don't quote me. I believe that's what it was this last. They said that Surface was one of the. I mean, it wasn't like a lot, but it wasn't making as much as they wanted.
Yeah,
but.
not as much revenue.
Yeah.
But I thought everyone was so disappointed in the MacBook Pro that they were switching over to the Surface Pro. Sorry. I don't even know who it was that said that at Microsoft.
I don't know why you would, because they're basically the same price.
Right.
And I don't know.
And I mean, even just switching ecosystems is like, that's a pain in the butt.
I think it's just loud
Nobody
barking.
wanted to do that. It was. I can't remember who it was who said that, but I remember like reading it and thinking to myself, that's like such a gross oversimplification of
it could have just been a random tweet or something.
It was like yeah, it was just like some like sub executive at Microsoft was all like, yeah, well, my uncle switched from a MacBook Pro to and that was basically it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
and that's why we don't just read headlines, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Always read the content.
Yes.
And also actually don't even read the headlines on some news sources.
Yeah.
Twitter, for instance. It's not a great place to get your news.
That's where I get all my news.
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry, guys.
Dang it.
Should get like a real news app.
Oh, no.
Those are kind of few and far between, though. Actually, most of the really good news apps that I've had over the past couple of years have shut down in the past couple of years. And I'm like, please stop. Like,
I just go off Google Now, my feed there, because it's stuff that I'm interested in anyways. It's stuff that I'm going to be looking up.
That's pretty good.
And it just shows up for me. Thank you, Google.
Yeah.
Taken care of. Yeah.
Moving on. Yeah. I got a little bit of kind of gaming news.
Bring it on.
Oh, yeah. Now, this is something I had heard from another podcast. A friend of the show has a podcast called Extra Guac Podcast. It's pretty funny. It's entertaining. Just random. They talk about random crap. But one thing they talked about was the new Mario Kart and some features that it has.
Yeah.
That I didn't know about and is kind of making me want to buy a Switch and Mario Kart even more now.
Ooh. Let's hear it.
It has auto drive and auto correct direction.
Wait, auto drive?
Yes.
So
now,
the game will play itself for you.
Well, kind of. You still have to steer and shoot the things at people. The benefit to this is if you have small children that when they play games just run into a wall or go backwards, this makes it so they can actually play the game.
That's fair.
I was like, that's amazing.
That makes sense.
As the child who was playing Mario Kart 64 and running into walls and turning around and stuff, that does actually sound really nice.
Yeah. So like all three of us that have small kids that would want to play these games, it's a pretty awesome feature.
It is a cool feature.
I didn't know that was a thing.
They need to bring a lot of features to it because that's a very expensive game.
It's true. It is a very expensive game.
It's $80.
Yes.
I looked at it.
Holy poo stand.
It is $80.
That's a lot of money for
It is.
Then.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
It's $80. It's cool. It is a cool game. I've seen videos. I haven't played it on the Switch. I have because I don't have $80 to spend.
But this does make it a lot more tempting, at least for me.
That is cool. You know.
I would wait till like the holidays when there's a package deal.
Yeah, bingo.
Yes, good idea.
But yeah, awesome feature that I am glad that I was listening to that podcast to find out about.
There we go.
I will update on the Switch, though, since we're on this topic.
Yes, I'm done. So moving on to you, Wes.
Well, one thing I have noticed, so your saved games are to Switch. So if you have to give your Switch back or do something to get it fixed, then you lose your saved games. They are not cloud saved.
Don't they have a card reader on the Switch that you can do that with?
Kind of. I know. It's so they haven't fully gotten everything to it, like to do what we want, what other systems have done. Now I'm getting mixed things of saying that games work that way. If you buy a digital game, obviously cartridge, it goes with you, but the actual save on it, you'll lose that save. So,
right.
But the games I'm kind of worried about, and that's another thing why I haven't spent $80 because I'm like, okay, like protect that Switch because I don't want to lose every game.
But you'd think that like they have the ability to, like with Super Mario Run, like I've had to reset my phone since downloading that game. Everything's saved in my Nintendo account. You'd think they would be able to do that.
You would, but that's one big thing. And obviously they haven't come out with their online thing.
Yeah,
right.
And so
really
that's coming.
Half-baked right now.
It is, and that's it's just a very basic. It's a really nice basic hardware system. That's just. I feel like it's in beta.
Yeah,
like I really feel like it's in beta right now.
Yeah.
Just and also like the multiplayer, the voice chat. Like you have to use your phone.
Oh my gosh, that's the dumbest.
You
thing.
have to download. So there's no voice chat. So if I want to do that, you have to download the app to your phone and then connect the phone somehow to the Switch, and it's just weird.
Yeah, you have to basically have a headset plugged into the phone and headphones plugged into the Switch if you want to hear the audio from the game at the same time.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of really dumb, and also only works with Splatoon 2 at the moment.
Yeah, that too. But I'm just like, hopefully it gets there, and and this would be cool, and I doubt they'll do this because I don't know what they're doing. I hope, honestly, because Microsoft, they're pushing the cloud-based stuff, and they've got a reliable thing, and they're starting to do the cross-play. I'm kind of like, I hope they start just borrowing something from Microsoft that way. Like, and it's no like supreme power over here. I'm just saying like they're established, and that's what Nintendo's. It seems like they're about. If they don't have something already established or what they're wanting to do, and obviously multiplayer is not. Online multiplayer is not a huge thing that it seems like they're pushing. The local, they're like all about.
Oh yeah.
But I'm like for the online, I'm like, why don't you just somehow make a deal.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, we'll use your services and we'll promote your Minecraft or something. I mean.
Yep. Well, it's just really interesting because GOG.com has online syncing of saved games and an online multiplayer system that works pretty well with voice chat. GOG.com is like developed and maintained by like a 15-man team that has like just not that much time to do things. And
so what you're telling me is Nintendo has more than 15 employees?
I guess. I mean, maybe not.
Well,
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they don't.
Wicked Legacy employees too. But
that could be the problem.
And maybe this next online thing that they're going to launch here soon is going to fix all that and give everybody that.
Hopefully.
Well, I'm hoping. I mean, it's a paid service, and I honestly, with something like that, I'm all for the paid service. Like, I've been on Xbox for a long time, and I've played on PlayStations before it was paid.
Yeah.
Sorry, but that was garbage.
Yep, there was a big difference there.
So, I understand, and if they do that, that's great, because then they can just continue to update it and make it good. But anyway, on that, I just figured I'm not 100% sure on the digital games if it's to the Switch. Like, I've been looking. And I'm not sure if it's to your account or if it's to the Switch. Because I've heard that the saved games on other podcasts, they have said, if I have to return or get my Switch, you lose your saved game.
Yeah. Which, that kind of doesn't surprise me. Like, the game itself, like, if you buy a digital game, that should be locked to your Nintendo account that you own the thing. But whether or not any saved games would just be on the Switch, I mean, yeah, they might be. But that just seems kind of weird.
That was an older thing that happened with, like, the Wii. I remember I bought, like, Super Mario 3 like 3 times.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't linked to like a Nintendo account.
Nope. It was linked to that device.
To the device. Yep. So it's like
super dumb. It's actually one of those things, and I heard it described this way, that when you start looking at how Nintendo is handling the internet and online multiplayer and digital purchases and that kind of thing, it seems like they're developing this as if they have never looked at another console ever. And that's kind of how it feels. It's like they haven't looked at the PlayStation, they haven't looked at the Xbox, they haven't even looked at how things work on PCs, and so they just have no idea, and they're kind of like staggering through it themselves for the first time, even though this work has already been done by other companies.
If you consider the style that their last 3 generation consoles have been, it would make sense that they haven't looked at any other console.
It's true. Yeah, they're all completely different.
True. Yeah.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, but I mean, this one's way more promising. I mean, you guys had tested it before the show, and you guys haven't messed with it. You just played on Zelda, and you're like, holy crap, this is pretty legit.
It's cool. No, it's like a full, this is a console game that I'm playing on this tiny little 7-inch screen in my hands, and it's cute, and I love it.
Yeah.
No, it's really, as a piece of hardware, it's endearing. Like, really fast pulls you in, and it's like, okay, this is cool.
Yeah, it is.
But there are also lots of problems, and hopefully Nintendo is going to fix them. Yay!
Well, I don't think it's problems. Like I said, I feel like it's in a beta. They just wanted to release it to give something. And I feel like this is Nintendo's thing, like, hey, do people want this?
It's hardware early access.
Yes, that's what I feel it is.
And so everyone who's buying it right now is just paying money so that Nintendo can finish the development off on it.
That's honestly how I feel it is. Really.
There you go.
Like they just
Switch early access
they
period.
Just recently let that app go, or not let it go. Released the Nintendo app, which is also the parental controls and the voice chat and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so we'll just see what happens with it. But I'm hoping.
I wouldn't be surprised because with how heavily they pushed connecting a Nintendo account to Super Mario Run, like at least for me,
really?
It was every time I opened it until I connected it, I'd get a notification. You should do this. I'm like, oh, fine, I'll do it. But I mean, it's benefited me because, like I said, I had to reset my phone and I was able to save my progress via my Nintendo account.
Yeah. Well, that's nice.
I would hope that they would be doing some similar things with the Switch. It would only make sense.
Yeah.
Yep. If it hasn't come yet, it seems like that's the kind of thing that you will see with the paid multiplayer online services thing. Like, you subscribe to that, you get cloud saves. Like, hopefully.
Yeah.
I still want there to be some sort of Super Mario Run on the Switch that you can play online multiplayer via the phone and
that
Switch.
Would be fun.
Because that would be awesome. I'd be all over that.
Cross-platform, guys. Come on. Just make it happen.
It's been done.
It has.
A lot.
It's getting there.
A lot.
All right.
A lot.
So let's talk a little bit of this new feature. I thought was really cool actually coming to Windows 10, and I'm sure you guys have heard of it. It's the eye control feature.
Yes.
I have heard of it.
Basically, Connect 3.0.
with your eyes.
That's what I mean. That's why it's the next. Yeah,
it is, and which is really cool. You can go to. It's one of their big things they announced, and I'm sure you can find it. But basically, there's a big video on it that shows what you do, and it's connected. Watches your eyes to where you're viewing, and then you can actually set it up to. One thing I think I saw was you use your left eye to blink, and it would be left click, and your right eye to be right click.
Wow, that sounds like really difficult.
That's one.
If you cannot wink,
if
you're
can't
screwed.
Wink. Well,
exactly.
Well, that was one option. You could set it up different ways. Like if you're staring at an icon, it's kind of like. Did you guys ever actually use a Kinect?
No,
very, very little.
So what you do to say like with the Kinect is to go to say move a tile or something, or you're like I want that one without speaking, but with like a hand gesture, you'd actually it'd watch your hand and you'd hold your hand there for a couple seconds, and then it'd be like boop, got it. So it's also that same
right.
kind of, if you look at it for like, I don't know how long it was just kind of that quick movie that I had saw, and it was just boop, did it, and then it'll bring up some options, and then you move your eye to what type of option you want.
Right, right.
And so it was kind of cool. I was like, that's cool, but it's coming down later the road as a feature, obviously, but you can actually beta test it now if that's something you wanted to do. And so I thought it was pretty cool.
They're always it's interesting that they haven't done this earlier, because there's so many like manufacturers, like with the what's the face unlock stuff that they have. It's something they
Hello.
Microsoft Hello.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that could have potentially have been done.
Well, it was a feature earlier that they had announced and put out there, but then it was just quiet, and then they pulled it back, and then now this is the next iteration. So they're kind of
have tested it before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So they're just working on it. So
gotcha.
Yep. And then, so this was kind of cool for anyone that actually uses Groove. This is me. No, actually,
hey, I use Groove when after I've done edited.
It's really hard.
When I've done editing podcasts and I test the MP3 to make sure everything's good and listen to it, only because that's the default music player on my Windows laptop.
That's awesome.
But I do use it.
That's cool.
For a few minutes at a time.
It really is.
A week.
I use it. It's just the one I use, obviously. But
I downloaded VLC. I use
that. Yeah, it's okay. That's another good.
Well, the other option I have on my laptop is iTunes. So, I mean, I'm kind of at a lose-lose situation here. So
it's either use Groove or wait 5 minutes for iTunes to start up.
Pretty much.
All the options.
I'll stick with Groove.
Groove does take a good minute to load itself, at least on my computer.
Good reset.
Still,
yeah,
that's better than iTunes.
True.
Fix iTunes.
Well, something that's really cool with Groove now, it's bringing in music visualizations. Now, I haven't seen the music visualizations in the longest time. Exactly. I was thinking of remember Winamp?
Oh yeah.
Oh geez, that was awesome. That was the day.
But yeah, it's bringing those back. So and it's got a bunch of them, and I'll show you guys real quick, just a couple pictures. But it's bringing the visualizations back.
Those are the same visualizations.
Yeah, they just bought Winamp.
They're just better graphics.
Right. Yes, higher fidelity.
Obviously, it brings stars and then little cosmos.
Yeah.
Of
my
music.
gosh, this is exactly
Holy cow, that
Winamp.
is it. Holy crap.
Isn't it?
Wow. I wonder if the visualizations are still buried in iTunes somewhere. Because iTunes had a visualizer back in the day that I used to use, and I gotta wonder if they're still there. I had a look.
I bet you could look.
I want this on like a TV. That's where it could be beneficial.
Yeah.
If you're streaming music over your TV, have this.
Yeah.
That would be
That'd
actually
be super cool.
Especially like through Apple TV.
The Apple TV. Why is that not a thing?
Because they have they already have those beautiful screensavers on the Apple TV.
Yep, they got
Just
some really
imagine
nice
what they
ones.
could do with that.
It's the visualizer while you're playing music.
Well, I was
That would be awesome.
kind of. I guess I thought of it for my Xbox. I'm like, dude, I would love to just hit radio, go, boom, and put that on.
Yep.
That's where visualizations could be really cool. Is on the TV, on a phone, on a computer. You're probably doing something else. But on your TV, I mean, you're probably doing something else also. But it's a much bigger screen to look at, and you're like, wow.
One thing I kind of do I do now, and visualizations is cool, but I wonder if I can set it up this way. So right now what Groove can do is I can set it up to where when I hit go, there's an option that says if there's a music video to this, play the music video. But if not, then it basically would show the band's pictures
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so I was like, because I'll do that, and I'll just hit go, and then every once in a while, music video comes on with the next song in the shuffle.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I'm like, that's actually really cool. But then it goes to the band, but it's like the same 5 pictures.
Yeah. And wouldn't it be
band.
cool if you had visualizers?
And I was like, how cool is if
that would be cool.
See, that's how I would set it up. That way is like, if there's a music video, play the music video, and if there's not, then just play the visualization.
I just thought of something that would be amazing.
What's that?
And Apple could very easily do this. If they had it through Apple TV, so it's on your TV, and then they integrated it with HomeKit. Ooh. So your Philips Hue light bulbs or whatever
oh
you
my
have
gosh.
would change colors. You could have a
epic.
rave in your house.
So easily. It would just be like, hook everything up and just play music.
You know how
Boom,
amazing
dance party.
You know how amazing that would be?
Cow.
That would be cool.
Why is this not a thing? Here we are getting super excited about basically Winamp.
Right,
No
that was
problem.
Okay, wait.
This is Winamp for the home.
Speaking of Winamp,
This is amazing.
not only is Groove getting the visualizations, they are getting the equalizer.
Oh. Which, that's
I mean, it's not
something
it's not that big, but it's
built
got a
into
couple.
any music app.
Yeah,
It's true. Yep.
I used to
Since
be
the internet.
so big into that with Winamp. I'd be like, oh, I gotta adjust this,
Oh,
but
yeah.
but now I'm just like, just play the
No,
friggin'
just
thing.
like give me vanilla, whatever. Some audio engineer somewhere thought a lot more about this than I am going to, and I'll just let them take care of it.
And then if you have
Unless you're a Beats owner, in which case you want whatever they decided plus lots more bass.
gotcha.
Times 1,000.
Yes.
Now, do you guys use Spotify at all?
I
Or
don't.
have?
I used to
or-
a lot, but not in a while.
Did Spotify let you do personal playlists that you can send to
Yes.
friends? I
Yes.
believe that was like the premise of Spotify, right?
Yes.
Like you create a
Yeah,
playlist,
it's one
and then
of
I
the
could
big
be
ones
like,
for sure.
and then I could be like, oh look, he's
Yeah.
got this
Yep.
playlist. Well, that's basically coming to Groove as well.
Yeah.
So you
nice.
have that too. So personal
Also,
playlist.
finally coming to Apple Music as well. It really
Awesome.
seems like this should have been kind of basic for everyone,
Well,
like right up front.
it's funny
but-
with Apple Music because, they talked about how social Apple Music was supposed to be, and then it was not at all.
But this was funny. This is coming off of Thurrott.com. I just love how he said this, and it says there's an automatic playlist creation too. So it says, do your friends suck at making mixtapes too? No problem. Groove will soon create mixes for you based on the parameters you feed in, such as genre, artist, pace, and even era for the pickiest of audio connoisseurs out there.
So, again, something that's been there on pretty much every music player for at least 5 years. Good job, Microsoft.
So it's all this stuff is
Finally.
coming. I thought it was cool.
They're catching up
If
to Pandora.
Yay! Pandora. Hey, that's used a lot, actually.
I still use Pandora
Do ya?
sometimes. Not very often. Usually only when I'm mowing the lawn.
Well, I found out you can actually use Pandora as the background music for Xbox, too. So you can, while playing a game, you can use Pandora for the backwards
nice.
app or music.
Yeah.
So, but if you ever do want to try and sign up for Groove or anything, there's a couple deals here to actually get quite a bit of stuff. So if you sign up with Groove directly, you buy like a month, they'll give you 4 months free. Next one is you sign up for Xbox Rewards and you get 4 months free. So Xbox Rewards is like when you purchase something on the Xbox site, they're like, oh, you buy so many points, you get this many back for cash and stuff. Every once in a while, I'll just get a chunk of change in my Microsoft account from the rewards from what I bought for like games or digital stuff. And then if you are a Bing Rewards user, you can get 1 month subscription for only 100 points, for 100 points, but then you can get 3 months for 200, and that's pretty easy to get. That's just search engine, or like sometimes they'll have you be like, hey, take a quick quiz, and you get like 30 points. But that's if you use it, that's another option where you can pretty much use Bing for free if you just search stuff with Bing, and it goes to your account.
So 5 of you.
And I'm one of them. I get actually a lot of free stuff. I've gotten a
I
lot
was
of
gonna say,
$25 cards from
plus all the people that are just using the default search engine.
That's
on an
true. I did
iPhone,
think about that.
like
which is like everyone.
Most people.
well,
So-
and you can actually link. I wonder if you can. So does it go to like Bing's website?
Not so Siri just gives you a list of stuff. If you tap on something on that list, then it takes you to Bing search results.
it basically just says,
Um,
here are these results, and at the bottom it says via Bing or something like
Yeah.
that.
I wonder if you could actually link that because there's like the Bing rewards. It's the same thing as Xbox rewards, but they just whatever.
That would be
like if you.
But I was going to say,
if you were to sign into it on like in Safari, then maybe
I wonder if you could, because if somehow be like, hey, this is my rewards card, because that is built into Edge,
right?
For obvious reasons. That's built into Edge, and so anytime that I use it, even on my phone, it's like so I'm always racking up points.
Yeah.
So
I'll actually look into that because I mean you can't change the default search engine for Siri, so.
You ought to look because you might be able to get quite
figure it out. Yeah.
I set my thing up for like because obviously they're always like, oh, only spend 100 points you can get a sweepstakes. I'm like, no, I actually want money.
You know who could really benefit from that? The Rock.
Oh my gosh, The Rock doesn't need more money.
He uses Siri a lot,
apparently, or gets paid to use Siri a lot,
and also
paid a lot.
Grooms bonsai trees
while working out.
Yes. Anyway, so I did want to mention that. So if you ever wanted to try some Groove music, I use it. It's great. It works. It links to everything, obviously, with Microsoft. So if you have a Windows phone, all three of us, it will sync to that, which works great on there, as well as your Xbox and if you have a Surface, it's great. Windows 10 and default, like you said, it works. So.
There's a Groove Music app for iOS and Android too, isn't there?
I believe so.
I think there is.
Researching.
Yeah, go ahead and do some research while I go to the next segment here on music. One thing that's also cool that is actually coming to Xbox One is Spotify. They're actually going to put that on the Xbox One. So as we're talking about background music and everything that you can have for while you're playing games or whatever, Spotify can be one of them. So if you're a Spotify user, there you go. Put it on your Xbox, which I know a lot of people use. So
yeah, Spotify's huge. I really like Spotify.
When I actually try it out, I didn't mind it, but I was on I tried it out to try it, but I'm on a yearly thing with Groove, so I just what I have. So
yeah.
But anywho, let's go back and on the research, it does show that Groove is on the Google Play as well as the Apple Store. So
it sure is. There's some other apps that come up when you search for Groove as well, on iOS at least, that are kind of fun. Groove Coaster actually is a game that I have heard about that's like the number 2 result. And that looks like a pretty fun game. I've seen some stuff about it.
There's going to be a lot of different random things when you look at Groove.
Oh, of course. Yep. If you have an iOS device, scroll down to the 3rd search result. Just for kicks.
Just enjoy that.
When I searched for it, it just automatically pulled up. I don't know what it... Let's just search Groove. I just clicked on the app. It pulls up in the search results. So
yeah.
No,
so cool.
It brings up Apple Music and Spotify and SoundCloud as similar apps.
Oh, there you go.
That's a bonus.
There you go.
Groove Coaster too. Mm-hmm.
I've heard of Groove Coaster. I've never actually played it, but I hear it can be pretty fun. Like if you're into rhythm games and music games and stuff like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's since we were talking about a little bit about Edge, let's go ahead and talk about the new improvements that are coming out. So one big improvement that people have been wanting for Edge is actually migration improvements, meaning like to bring all your imported info from Chrome.
That's not a thing.
To bring over to Edge. For a while, there wasn't. But apparently it's there. See, here's the thing.
Landon is scandalized.
Well, here's the thing.
Like
I guess
number one thing you put into a browser.
Well, no. I mean, hopefully the number one thing you put into a browser is the ability to browse the internet.
Well, okay.
That's
a given, but...
Is it, though?
This should be a given.
It should, but it wasn't.
Wow.
So, and that's what it says. You can import your info from Internet Explorer and now Chrome. And there it is. Chrome is the next one.
Just those two, though. Not from Safari, not from Firefox.
Oh, that's it. Well,
granted, you can do
there's no circumstances under which you'd want to be importing anything from Safari. I mean,
yeah,
you can't run them on the same computer as each other.
And where most people are just using Chrome anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Firefox is the next one, and then if you care after that, Opera. And that's pretty much it. Those are the browsers.
And then I'm not sure exactly 100% why someone would use... Well, Anyway, so they're bringing full screen mode to it as well, which was already offered. And I'm like, okay, full screen mode. I'm not 100% sure if it just takes the taskbar away.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I guess that's coming. I'm sorry, I just don't use. If I need full screen, it's usually for video, and the video just says full screen. I click, and there it is.
Takes up the full screen.
I don't.
And doesn't leave the bar across the top with like, your tabs and stuff in it.
So that's there.
Cool.
Anyway, tab improvements, because Edge is all about tabs. So
I could see the full screen mode being more beneficial on a Surface with a touchscreen.
Maybe that's what it was.
If you're on a desktop, I don't see it being very usable or well usable. But on a touchscreen device, if you can just swipe down to bring the taskbar back, that might come in handy. I guess more content.
Maybe.
I'm trying to help you out here.
I know I'm trying to, because I sat there and thought about it. I'm like, full screen. I'm like, but apparently I just don't use things that need that, and that could be it.
Yeah.
And maybe someone else that is like somehow using Edge for art or something else. I'm trying to. I'm digging.
Art in your web browser.
I don't know.
I don't either.
Or maybe when you're reading a book
on your web
in
browser.
Edge.
Web
well,
browser.
Edge, that was the big thing that they talked about before, was the book. But also some UX improvements, UX refresh, a couple things like that. So Edge is getting more improvements. So if people do use Edge, I've heard some people are trying it and they like it. They still prefer Chrome for a couple things that they already use Chrome for that Edge probably doesn't have, which is totally understandable. But
wait, Chrome has features that Edge doesn't?
Believe it or not.
What?
Well, I'm actually maybe not features, extensions. It's probably a better
that's
word.
a given.
Oh, yeah.
Better word for it. Like when Edge came out, you couldn't have extensions, and then because that's what I couldn't use it for a long time because I use LastPass, and so I couldn't install LastPass on there. So
yeah, you want to talk about something that seems like it ought to be a given for a browser. I would say that extension support probably trumps being able to import information from other browsers as the thing that should come first.
That's true.
I mean, I'm kind of glad they went for that first before the other one.
I mean, overall, it's getting way better than what it was because I do use it. I use it as kind of my main. I don't have a lot of extensions. Chrome takes up a lot of my resources.
Chrome is a resource hog. Yeah,
like it's ridiculous. And I'm okay. For a web browser, it just takes up. I'm not saying like my computer slows and lags. I'm not saying trying to fanboy it here, but I hit Edge and it's like poof. Even when I do that first initial setup, I don't have an SSD or SSD.
Yes,
sorry,
that
SSD.
Was the correct acronym.
Yes, even though I don't have one, I can still hit Edge, and that's one of the things that'll actually come up really quick. So.
Yeah, having a web browser that's developed by the people that are developing the operating system is a wonderful thing, and I just so happen to know that because Safari is awesome. Yay!
Yeah, and like if I were to, the one thing that I do have Chrome installed. The one thing that I will use is if I'm looking up on a website that I'm not sure of, I will go to Chrome.
Right.
Because I'm like, okay, I'm going to use Chrome because I still. It's nothing against Edge. I still haven't used Edge, but I'm on it. Right now, I'm so tired. I used to be a little more spontaneous. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll just bomb the hard drive and bring everything up if something happens or whatever, adware. But now I'm like, I really don't want to do that again.
No, it's a pain. It's a pain.
Yeah. Anyway, so
yep.
So Edge is getting more improvements, guys. So if you use it, or if you're on Windows 10S operating system. Windows 10S, you can...
Well, you have to use Edge on 10S.
Yes.
Right, but you can import your Chrome stuff. You can do all your stuff there. So
can you import from Chrome? Because there's not Chrome on 10S.
I think you can bring the save file or something from it to import that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
would...
Well, that's how you... Oh, no. That's how you used to, like if you were moving from one computer to another and you wanted to keep all your browser preferences, then you had this little export this thing, and it was an XML file that you dropped on there.
Plus, everything's on your cloud anyway, so if you are a Google account, I'm sure you're like, hey, sign in.
Maybe it's just that you sign into Edge with a Gmail account, and it's all like, oh, you've got Chrome stuff up here, and pulls it down.
Maybe.
That would be the easiest way. But...
That would be really cool, actually.
Let's not give too much credit.
We don't know. We'll find out.
Anyway,
we do have to remember what we were talking about 5 minutes ago with Groove finally catching up with Pandora.
Shh. Moving on. All right. Something kind of cool. I didn't expect this to come to actually Xbox, but the Fall Creators Update, Xbox is getting kind of a big UI update for the main page and everything. So, like, I was looking at this. It looks really cool. So you can actually arrange things of how you want it. Before, it was the stuff was arranged, and then you could have a couple pins somewhere.
Yeah.
But now it's pretty much
like the whole thing is customized.
Everything. Now. You can move everything. Like, okay, I want this here, this moved here, this here, and what I want. So I thought that was
now that everyone
cool.
is used to one layout, you can finally change it, and nobody will.
Yeah.
Now that they got it running faster, they're going to change it. Yes.
Gosh, that's probably true. Like everyone's just going to be like, "Yeah, I can change it, but I got used to the default layout." So,
they're going to change a couple things here and there, but that'll be it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's kind
for a new user. It's not gonna may not happen that much.
Yeah. So it's just more personalizations is kind of what they're doing. So you can customize your dashboard, everything there. Get the new UX with Fluent. They call it the Fluent design system, so you can add stuff, move stuff. They say it's a better performance, basically, for the updates, but I'm hoping that's what it is. Just easier to, on the Xbox, to add friends, bring them into your party, do clubs, do tournaments, they're just trying to make it more fluent for what you do. Because there are times that people are like, I have to, first world problem, I have to push right 5 times and then go down to what I want. Like, okay. Then they're like, here, you can just have it there, and you can make that there. So, cool.
There you go.
More UI, which is cool, better performance. They're going to improve the guide navigation, which is kind of what I was talking about, the guide layout for your friends and everything for that. The community improvements, so on the Xbox, also the Xbox app if you have a Windows 10 PC, or if you actually have the Xbox app on your phones, which is also on iOS and Android. They're just improving the activity feeds. It's kind of like Xbox and their own Facebook, but you can upload your videos and everything. Caleb, you were exposed to that when you would log in and see my kills.
I would actually welcome some improvements to that layout. So it's good to hear that that's coming.
Well, they just added an improvement to it to where you can actually now pick the device of what you want your microphone and speakers to come out of. So I thought that was an improvement.
Yes.
So that was nice on there. Also, they are doing some improvements on top of that. Obviously, for Windows 10, they're going to do the improvements for the PC as well, so it's a lot easier. I'm not sure how. As I was looking through this, they didn't really say what shortcuts or what's going to happen, but more short keys to make it easier for people streaming or doing the game bar on your Windows 10 PC. And I know that you were having...
And if they could get that integrated with Mixer a little bit more closely so that if you're trying to co-stream with somebody, you don't have to jump out of the game into the browser to initiate the stream.
It was interesting. You had left last week before we could talk. I talked about it a little bit with Landon on the experiences we were having Xbox versus the PC side. It was just like a quick 1-2 go.
Yep.
But for you had to accept it. And then what was weird sometimes, talking about notifications, it didn't pop up until later that I had invited you.
It popped up later, and the notification itself wasn't actionable. Like, it didn't have a button in it, like an accept or whatever button in it. Instead, you just click on the notification, and it takes you to the Mixer page, to your page in Mixer, where you have to accept the invitation. Yeah. You cannot accept that invitation to co-stream outside of the browser. I'm pretty sure you cannot initiate an invitation to co-stream outside of the browser either. So you have to use the browser in order to do anything with co-streams on the PC right now. And that's something that I would like to see change because, put it into the game bar. You can initiate a stream from inside the game bar, but if you want to actually co-stream with someone, you've got to jump out of the game into the browser. And that's something I would like to see improved.
And I think that's one of the things that we're talking about. I think it's going to be more on the Xbox app.
Yes.
Even just because obviously that's where you're chatting with.
Yep.
That's how you're chatting with me.
Yep.
So everything's going to go through the app. So I think it's going to be a pop-up because there's times that I'll get a notification and I can instantly, write back or whatever real fast. But I think that'll be another thing because when I send you a game invite, it comes up.
Yeah, and that gives me an actionable notification that I can click on and say accept. And so if they integrate it into the Xbox app,
I bet
then the notification will probably just have a button that says accept, and then I can accept and then initiate the stream from inside the game. That would be a lot easier. So, that's an improvement.
I think that's what they're pushing for on there. So, which is great. I mean, and that Fall Creators Update is coming soon. So, it's going to be great, and that'll help us with our streaming and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I need to get faster internet first, but
It was pretty fun to watch that stream, though.
yes.
I think
Your part of that stream.
One thing I think would be really cool to improve on Mixer, though, is when we were doing the co-stream, it only recorded my VOD. My VOD. It didn't record yours. I was hoping that in some way you could do that, record the actual co-stream.
Right.
That way,
but it just records them separately.
Recorded me
and if you want to
separately.
put them together, then you got to do that on your own time.
Yep.
So
You know what I want to be able to do with Mixer? Log in.
Are you having problems?
Literally, the whole time you guys have been talking, it's been trying to log in on my phone.
Oh, I wonder if
I haven't
that
logged in on
update
my phone for a while.
did something.
I haven't been able to log in for a while.
Oh, really?
Like a couple updates ago,
Gotcha.
which is annoying.
That is actually really annoying, and I'm
Really?
sorry I'm laughing.
Like I wanted to
But it
watch
is
your
a
guys'
beta.
last stream, and no, this one's not a beta. That's the Mixer Create app is a beta.
Oh.
Which that one I literally can't do anything on.
That's
like
weird.
it shows that I have 2 followers. I can't even see who they are.
But you have two.
I apparently have 2.
I bet they're sitting in this room
I-
right
you're
now.
Probably.
I'm willing to bet that's who that's right, but
Just say it.
but I can't check
Yeah.
because it won't let me.
Uh,
Mixer Create app on Android is awful.
hey,
It's getting there.
At least you have one.
It's true. At least I have one.
It's
It
getting
is
there.
true.
It's getting
But
there.
again, I still cannot log in
Huh.
to Mixer. It's been sitting here circling and circling and circling for a while.
At least it's not the hourglass that circles.
That would potentially be more entertaining. At least give me something to look
Just
at.
old school. Remember that hourglass of
Oh
Windows
yeah.
95?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The good old hourglass.
Anyway, so that's going on. You can actually, if you are in the Windows Insiders in the first fast ring, there's a lot of rings, and I'm confused by them. But anyway, if you're in the most preferred ring,
You know who you are.
you know who you are. The select few. If certain reporters on Microsoft aren't getting in, like Paul Thurrott can't get in that ring, then you're one lucky person. Anyway, but you can actually start getting that today. Go ahead, update it, see if you like it. Be awesome. But that's pretty much it there. We're just kind of anticipating, obviously, more for the creators update, what features if they're going to announce what actual features are coming, because apparently they're taking more and more out, like, oh, it's coming, but this one's not. Now this one's not. And this one.
Yeah.
But Edge will save your battery power.
That's the problem with announcing features so early.
It is.
Is like sometimes at that early stage you're not actually sure if it's possible. You're just like, this would be really cool, and then yeah, maybe not. And then we have to pull it, and then we have to tell everyone that we pulled it, which is why like it can be really frustrating that Apple is so secretive, but at least they never promise stuff that they don't actually deliver.
Yeah, overpromise, underdeliver. Yeah.
Like there's that. That's the upside.
But they're happy. Microsoft's just happy getting initiative, doing these things, and it's like, oh, let's do this and this and this. And it's like, that's a great idea. This is what we should do. Oh, that's not finished.
Yeah.
See, and Google gets away with this because they just put it into their projects team. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, oh well, it was a project.
Exactly.
We never said this would work. What are you talking about?
Exactly. So, but
Awesome.
anyway, anything from James?
I have some gaming news. I want to talk about tomorrow. So
Well,
today,
Tuesday.
you can come back tomorrow.
today is the 7th of August. Tomorrow is the 8th of August, and the 8th of August is awesome for 2 reasons. First of all,
8-8.
Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice releases tomorrow. I talked about this. Was it last week? I think it was last week.
I don't know. I
It's
usually
in
tune out during
a
gaming.
AAA indie game that looks just a freaking amazing, and I pre-ordered it on GOG.com.
Nice.
You can pre-order it on Steam as well, and actually a couple of other places. I think they're making it available in as many digital forms as possible. You can also get it for PlayStation 4 through the PlayStation Store, and $30 for 8 hours of content is what they've said, and it really looks like AAA quality production. So really excited for that game. I will let you know next week whether or not it is as Dark Souls-y as the trailers made it look.
Oh,
Because if it
no.
is, I may never actually finish the 8 hours of gameplay.
8 hours might be
Might be
10.
too much.
Dude.
It's going to be a waste of money for
All you
Caleb.
said
we'll
was Dark
see.
Souls, and I'm like, yeah, I'm
It's-
not playing that game.
I don't know. I will let you know. And if it's not Dark Souls, then you should get it. On your PC, I guess, since totally doesn't work on Xbox. Okay, so the other thing that is tomorrow is the beginning of the Overwatch Summer Games.
Oh, that's right.
Which is happening.
Ball.
So this is our first. We've come full circle. This is a repeat event for Overwatch. We had the Summer Games last year, and that was like some stuff totally sucked. And they changed it for the Halloween event.
Wasn't it just a not appreciation for Rocket League?
Yeah, well, yeah.
It was just kind of like, hey, that's cool.
That's
Let's
basically
just mess
what
with
Lucio
it.
Ball was.
And now everybody loved it and was like, we're going to make a thing.
Yes. But the loot boxes were kind of like they weren't, so they just changed how loot boxes get handed out. So there's much fewer duplicates, which is
amazing.
Super awesome. And last year you couldn't buy stuff like the special skins and stuff like that. You couldn't buy them. You could only get them in loot boxes.
Right.
They changed that for the Halloween event because everyone screamed about how dumb that was. They were trying to make the skins exclusive. I totally get that. But there are so many people playing Overwatch that if you have even if you save up the coins and buy an event skin, you're still kind of exclusive. So they obviously will be available to purchase because they have been with all of the events since last year's Summer Games. So they also announced that they are going to be including all of the skins and all of the stuff from the last Summer Games is going to be available again.
Yep.
There are going to be a whole bunch of new stuff as well. The new stuff is going to be priced more expensive than its equivalent stuff, just like it has been for all of the other events. The old stuff from last year is going to be priced the same as all of the regular stuff. So legendary skins are going to cost 1,000 gold instead of 3,000 and stuff like that. So that's really cool. I'm actually really looking forward to getting there's like the Zarya weightlifting skin that I really wanted, and then like a couple of like the Lucio skins.
I wanted the McCree America flag.
Oh yes, the American flag.
I wanted
McCree.
that one.
Yeah.
I never got that one. Surprisingly, I didn't realize I got it, but I got the Genji one.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
I
got one of the Tracer ones, I think, and that was it.
Did you?
It was the only skin I got out of that event. So yes, that's like it's going to be coming back, and all of the since the new loot boxes throw fewer duplicates, then your chances of getting this stuff is actually quite a bit better than it was last year. And even if you don't get it, then you are going to be able to buy them. And at the very least, I'm going to be buying some of the stuff that I missed last year. And there's evidently a new Mercy skin coming that Jeff Kaplan said is his favorite skin of all of them.
I like
So
Mercy.
the fact that, I'm kind of like, I'm just interested to see what Jeff Kaplan's favorite skin is.
Well, my favorite one for Mercy is her Halloween one, her witch.
And
I've had it I've had it ever since and haven't changed it. So if he can find something better, then
I've got her Uprising event skin.
That one was a good one.
Right now, it's a pretty cool one. Okay, so Lucio Ball is also going to be back. Duh. They've changed it a little bit. They've changed the way that Lucio's ultimate acts in the game and stuff like that, just based on feedback they got after last year. They also have a new stadium, like a new stadium arena to play in. So now there's going to be 2 of those. And there's going to be a competitive mode.
That's what I heard,
Which is really interesting. And they're kind of just like, we'll see how this turns out. Like, if people like it and if they really like it, then maybe we'll start doing competitive modes for all this stuff and start branching out so that there might actually be, like, at some point, competitive Total Mayhem. That's what
my gosh.
Which would be
no.
amazing. It would be the best.
Oh my gosh, no. Ultimate's going off every 5 seconds.
Yep. You know who would win that? South Korea. South Korean players would win that because they are... so the Overwatch World Cup has been going on, and South Korea just played this past weekend in their group, and they won. I mean, they 16-0'd the entire competition. They won every map, every point of every map. They did not lose anything. And what was amazing about them was to watch their, in response to the comps that the other teams were fielding, they would have their support players switch on to DPS and their DPS players switch on to tanks and their tanks playing support. Nobody on that team was locked into anything. They could play every hero, all of them just super, super well. And it was insane. So they would totally win that because Total Mayhem is basically just about owning on every hero whenever possible. So anyways, Lucio Bell is coming back, and that it's all starting tomorrow. So download your Overwatch updates and get into the event. Have fun. And that is all of the gaming news that I have.
Awesome. Yeah, it's August, and this is the first month of just gaming heaven.
Yes,
going on
from here on out.
From here on out,
games start coming fast and furious.
Well, because you got the new Xbox One X that's coming out, and hopefully announced here next week or two that you can finally pre-order. Plus everything that's coming, games, Mario for the Switch. You got all the Star Wars games, Battlefield,
yes, Battlefield,
plus the Lord of the Rings, and like games upon games.
Lots of stuff coming out the end of this year, and really good time to be playing games. Honestly,
it really
even
is.
if you don't have a ton of money, because there are really fantastic indie games like Pyre and Senua's Sacrifice. And I'm gonna try and keep my ear to the ground a little bit on some of the other indie games that are coming out soon. Actually, there's a fighting game, like an online multiplayer fighting game called Absolver, that looks really interesting, and I'll have some more details on that next week.
Sweet.
Just to keep everyone updated. But yeah, it's a good time to be playing games.
Definitely.
Very cool.
That's all we got.
I want to mention, while they were talking about gaming, I was playing on the Switch.
Oh, I noticed.
And I died.
Just
because I'm awful at games.
Dude.
But it was fun.
That's what my daughter, she loves it.
And then it shows you where the bad guys are. So I snuck up kind of on top of a ledge and just shot the guy with an arrow, but he didn't die. And then I ran out of arrows.
And then he saw you.
Actually, I don't think he did. He was confused.
Where is it?
Pretty much.
Headshots, Landon. Headshots.
Again, you're talking to me. I know this.
If he's standing still, okay.
Doesn't mean
I know this. Doesn't mean I can do it.
I know you're not used to video games, but that dot that comes up, it's called a crosshair.
I was aiming.
Move it to the head.
I was aiming.
Okay. Sorry.
I was a good distance away from him, too. It probably wouldn't be effective
Gotcha.
anyways.
Anyways.
Did
you like it?
So, it was fun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind one if I had money.
Yeah. Money.
And an extra $80 to buy Mario Kart, because that's what I want.
That would be so fun.
I'm sure there will be a bundle around Christmas where
I'm
you
sure there
buy a
will be.
Switch, get Mario Kart. Like,
Oh, yeah. Guaranteed.
that's gonna happen.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
There will probably be a bundle for Zelda as well, and a bundle for Super Mario Odyssey.
And
So-
Splatoon and everything.
And probably Splatoon 2. And,
Yeah. They're going to be pushing those.
Yeah.
Anywho.
So, is that all the news we got for this week?
That be it,
That's
sir.
all I've got. Awesome. Well, thank you for listening. We will be back next week with more tech news. Maybe. Who knows?
And rants.
Most of the news is going to be coming up at the end of the month and after.
Oh, yeah.
And with everything, we'll probably be doing more reviews of things now that games are coming out. Certain things, electronics. I'm actually looking into getting another phone, so we'll see. No, obviously, money.
Yeah, money.
So,
if there's anything that you as a listener would want us to talk about, please let us know.
Yep.
You can email us at podcast@callingallplatforms.com, or you can get a hold of us on Twitter or Facebook, or just our website at callingallplatforms.com. Just leave a comment, and we will try to give you any feedback that you want. So
we'll make it happen.
Yeah. So until next time, we'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.